Hey everyone, we're here with Greg Burgess of the Mighty fucking Allegion. They have a new album coming out, and I'm gonna fucking fuck up the name, the Ossuary Lens.
Dude,
Um,
that's close enough. If you can say our stupid band name right, then the Ossuary Lens, dude, you're golden.
I really was like, oh, I should really fuck up the band name because they're so used to it, you know?
Oh yeah. It's it's like a blessing and a curse, but it's by blessing it's a constant comedic, you know, you know.
Yeah,
It's the gift that keeps on giving
I
because
love it when they fuck it up on the green room. Like,
uh
dude, you
or
have
yeah, the marquee's the best. There was
yeah,
once we were playing the same wake as Ingve Malmsteen, and I was like, "You spell Ingve right."
right. And you
And
you
not only
fuck ours.
that, it was in Denver, where we're from, and I was like, "I'm like, are you in on the joke, or you just don't?" Okay.
Someone's literally fucking with you
Yeah,
everywhere you go. Like, watch this. Let's get them
yeah.
really riled up tonight. So, what was this is hold on. I'm gonna get this right. This is Ezra's first album back, right?
First out back, it's crazy because, of course, when we hung out the last time, he was already in the band. He's been in the band
Yeah.
for so long. We've done we did that little kind of EP that we split into two singles or whatever. So it's weird because, yeah, I guess technically it's his first album, but it's like been back for so long now.
Right.
It feels weird to talk about, but yeah, I guess so. It's the first album back.
That's well, he sounds really fucking good. And of course, the last time I saw you guys, he sounded fucking great. And I
Yeah,
know the crowd was like the at least the crowd around us were absolutely like astounded, like, holy shit,
yeah.
like
Well, that's good.
hell yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean you
no, it's
definitely
it's
gain
been
new
it's been
fans.
uh it's been great. It's like when he left the first time, uh that wasn't the case, with the set because of you know what he had going on, and so that now that he's back and he's healthy, and it's like, yeah, he sounds better than he ever did.
Yeah,
Um, so I mean, hell yeah,
it's really
we
fucking
win.
exciting, especially,
Yeah,
for the older fans who, who knew Ezra prior to Riley and all that. It's nice to
yeah,
see Ezra back, and it's really nice to see. I feel like you guys were in, at least that night at Headliners, you guys were in such a great space, like collectively, you know?
it's been such I can't like understate like how amazing it's been, right? Because we never, when we asked Ezra to go back in the day, it was for his health and it was for the, betterment of the band, but it wasn't, there was like, of course, anger surrounding, certain events, but it wasn't like at him, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like we always loved him. And like that was never something that we wanted to happen. It was just kind of like it had to happen, for everyone. And then so like not a good like subject to like rehash that crap, but like just to put it in perspective of like we never wanted him to go in the first place. You just
Yeah.
like he had to go. And then so now that he's healthy and been healthy for almost a decade, to have that back is like this is the guy. It's kind of like we were right back there. It
Hell
was
yeah.
like that instant like he's got such a huge personality, to like it's infectious,
Yeah.
just like his like sense of humor and his wit and like I can't tell you how many times we're on stage and he just like it says something and we're just like I'm like trying to hold it together because I'm just laughing at something stupid.
Yeah,
He
but
says so.
the great, as terrible as it is to be in that situation where you have to ask someone to leave, like I feel like that for him, obviously it did a world of fucking good.
Yeah,
Um
Yeah.
there's no telling where he would be, and thank God he's got friends like you fucking around him, and that welcomed him back with just open arms, and to see you guys crushing it now, like this fucking album, I shit you not, I've listened to it 4 times today alone.
Oh, that's a great sign. That's a great sign. Yeah, it does. You know, it's kind of weird too because I know it's like with the last album we had such a. It was just written. You know, that COVID thing really kind of threw everybody for a loop, and then we had all the negative, like, you know, like the dark things that kind of like came with that,
Yeah.
and how that impacted the band and like the music and everything, and like, you know, damnum is Latin for loss, and was like us, and kind of like we were mourning. You know, we had a lot of people very close to us like took their own lives, and you know, we were just kind of in a dark headspace, and that really impacted the music. And then
Yeah.
it was just really kind of cool to have like after the passage of time and like, you know, you go through the healing process, and now it kind of felt like like getting, you know, like the normality of like, oh yeah, this is like a legion, like this is, you know, what it was. It wasn't such a like an emotional like vomit,
Yeah.
you know, as it were. It was very like, you know, obviously there's emotion in what we do, but you know, it's also kind of like a fulfilling like mental challenge puzzle, you know, for me
Yeah.
at least. I would speak for myself. For me, it's very mental in the writing, and it felt really good to get back to that.
I feel like it would be that way for the whole band. I mean, and let's not forget about Jeff. Jeff, of course, this is
How can
four
you forget
years
about Jeff?
4 years in the band.
Yeah,
And he's crushing it. And I fucking love Brandon, dude. I think Brandon is such a, great drummer. For Jeff to come in and pick up that, it's like, holy fuck, great
yeah,
job.
yeah. I mean, Park was, I mean, just like if you look up solid in
Yeah.
the dictionary, like there'd be a picture of, you know, Brandon Park. So, yeah, you know, we got, you know, very two different drummers. You know, Brandon, he like would like just listen to the demos and go sick, and then just do it like to the demo. Where Jeff is not like that at all. He listens to it and goes, "Cool, I'm not going to do any of that. I hear it like this," which, you know, there's a little bit of growing pains with like someone, you know, coming in and like, yeah, I'm not doing it that way, and because it was always that way. You know,
Right.
it was always a drummer would just replicate the demos, not really going, yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. And it's like, well, Jeff's really good, so maybe just, you know, trust. You know, you wouldn't have hired him if you didn't trust the man. So just let him do his thing. And
That is
yeah,
fair.
he
Yeah.
really he's definitely put his soul spin. Definitely, and he wears a lot of the. I think he's kind of taken up almost like a Lars Ulrich like arrangement hat a little bit. Like I'll come in with the song and he'll just go, "I you mind?" And like, "Yeah, sure. Go ahead." If I don't like, you know, why not? Like be a team player, do it. And then especially on this album, he would come up and I'm like, "Yeah, I dig that. It's cool." Like it would like he would come up with stuff that he would just like take my guitar parts and like rearrange them, and I was like, oh, okay. It's just slightly different, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it's still cool. I'm down, and it just kind of like he had a very vibe to go with kind of his drums. So it's a, you know, a very universal composition process these days
Oh,
across all members. You
I
know,
like how you said that. Very universal,
yeah,
you
like
know.
everybody's got their fingers in the composition pie. You know,
They're like, all right, good.
yeah.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was like, how long did it take you guys to write the Ossuary Lens?
I don't know. I mean, it's the same like every album. like before the album's out, we're already got songs in the bag for the next one, and then it's
Sure.
just it's we attempt to put out an album every 2 years, right? Whether there's a window for release within that 2 year cycle, that's the question. So it's like this album was supposed to come out in October of last year, but the artwork just took too long. So then it just got bumped to this year. So like if it came out last year, it would have been in the 2 year cycle because Damnum came out in 22. But
Yeah.
because of the artwork, it got bumped to 25. Right. So this is what it means to not do AI artwork, everyone. It
Yeah.
means pushing your album back by a year.
Like I, it's all because it wasn't AI.
That's right.
But at least you guys have it in you to like go and find the artist to do that. And obviously, I think a lot of this the big fucking argument right now, AI or traditional, and AI has its place. I'm
Yeah.
I'll never say that it doesn't, right? It has its place and it works for some people, but there are a lot of us who like an actual artist going and doing the artwork. And I think the fucking artwork on this is badass.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy because I've always, we worked with Travis Smith for the last few albums, and we went to Travis Smith for this one, and he couldn't fit us in his schedule. So it was like, oh, okay. It's like we love working with Travis, and he wanted to work with us too. But it's just like he was just so busy. He had so many albums on his to-do list. So it just came to like, who else would you want to get? And I'm like, well, I've always wanted to work with Seth, but I just never thought we could afford him. And he was no more expensive than any other artist, which floored me because I was such a huge fan of his
no, no, no.
work.
He was really fucking expensive, so no one else
I
can.
mean, I mean, he's an artist. Like he's a professional artist. They're not cheap,
Right.
but I like in my mind it was just unattainable, right? So, but then it still took too long. but we got to work with Seth and we crazy enough we did the tour. We did that tour with him
Yeah.
that you came to see us on the Decapitated run with Septic Flesh, and it was great because we got to really know the man and got along with him. From day one, he was awesome. So it was such a great experience because you get to hang out with the guy and like we just shoot ideas on tour. You know.
Yeah, how easy does that make that? It's not a bunch of emails and shit going back and forth or phone
Yeah,
calls. You're
but
just
work
like,
doesn't get done on the road.
whatever. You
You're
at
too
least get
busy, but you can
some fucking
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
The gears start turning. So
Yeah, that's fucking cool. So, uh when does it come out? Is it March 1st?
April 4th.
I knew I was gonna fuck something up.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of confidence in that April 4th. I think it's April 4th. We're gonna fingers cross our fingers. We hope that I'm correct. April 4th.
Uh, Hold
I
on.
know it's in
I'm
April.
Yeah, I'm gonna look real quick because now I fucking have to.
That's
Um,
fine. This is my first interview of the day, so after this, I will be
no,
correct when I promote.
yes. And you guys, funny enough, you guys have that tour coming up with Warbringer. Holy
Yep.
shit, that's a
Yeah,
long one.
yeah, man. It's gonna be where it's cool. It's really cool. It's actually interesting because uh, there's just there's just a big push. Like there's a lot of bands out. So if you notice, there's a whole bunch of people doing co-headliners, and that's just because you kind
Yeah,
of have to like kind of band together, to try to like make yourselves like look. Uh, it's harder to succeed if you just go out by yourself. So like going out with a gang is
yeah,
is really great, and it was really interesting because we had toured with Summing the Lich before, and we wanted to go out with them, and then they wanted to go out with Skeletal Remains. So then it was just like the perfect marriage of the
let's do
two
this.
kind of tours
Yeah,
and teaming up, and it's great because we played with Warbringer a couple times, I think. So yeah,
That
I
fucking new
mean,
Warbringer is heavy as shit
it's
too.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was stoked. I listened to that new one, and then I texted Kevin or Kevel, sorry.
So April 4th is the date.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong
No, you nailed it.
so far that I know of. I've probably gotten something wrong in here too.
Whatever. I feel like I get something wrong every fucking time. So, like it's all part of not being AI,
That's right. The human error.
the human element for sure. Um, so I'm of course I'm a longtime supporter of you guys. My favorite thing to do is buy vinyl from you. So the biggest question is what variants of vinyl do you guys have with the Ossuary lens?
So I think there's four, four colors, and then of course the black, right? What's interesting is like I when you because like we get samples of like just colors, swatches like over the internet from the label, and they're kind of based on like they take what's involved in the art, so it kind of has a little bit to do with the cover. Um, and then you just like pick some out. But I noticed that the EU has like the colors that I would be like, oh my god, that one's sick. And but it's always the opposite. It's usually like North America gets the amazing colors, and then EU gets the colors that are just kind of odd. And it's totally reversed this time.
So I feel it's totally opposite. It's almost
Really?
always
Okay.
the EU gets the colors that I'm like, fuck, I gotta order from Europe now. That's gonna suck, but I'm getting it, whatever. I I
That's
literally
what I had to do this time. I had to order one from the EU because I'm like, oh man, well that one is no,
I
obviously
just
the one I
ordered
choose.
three from France from this band Spotlights that I love.
Yeah.
Like they had this color and I'm like, "Oh, I've never seen that before. Fuck it. I ordered three copies of it so
Does
I
it
could
sound better in that color?
no, I
Yeah,
just
no,
like the
you
color.
just lie. Yes, it does. Oh, dude, it sounds so much better.
It's it's not a clear, so like clear I think have the lowest quality uh of listenability.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So black is good, but like any like opaque color, I feel like sounds better than any clear. So
Interesting. That's crazy. I had no clue that it was even a different. I thought it was just clear, same material. But I guess that doesn't even make sense now that I'm saying it out loud. Obviously, it's not the same material. It's clear,
it kind of is the same material, just a different color.
but it's clear.
Clear. I don't know. So what is this? This is your seventh full length?
Yes, yes. Seventh full length. It's that's that's a lot of years.
That is a lot of years. I mean,
A lot
the
of
band, you guys are almost 20 years old at this point.
yeah. You'd think we'd be doing better. That's crazy.
I think you're doing pretty good. I mean,
I mean, you know what? That's all that matters to me.
like like think about like the things that you guys have accomplished in the years you've been together is more than probably 98 or 99% of bands, period.
Yeah, yeah, no, obviously, I really enjoyed everything we've done. So, there's never been something that was come out that I completely hated by the end. Maybe I wasn't 100% happy with it right after, right? But a little space, I'm like, actually, it's great, And
Yeah.
that was the cool thing. I learned that don't judge it, just give it a while. Because I know when we
Sit
did
with it. Yeah.
Apoptosis, I felt super rushed, and I wasn't too stoked with it. But now, in the hindsight, I'm like, man, there's some great songs on that record that I love. So
Yeah. Well, I think you got, one thing that I I can always look forward to with anything from you is I feel like the song structures are so well, the songs are so well written, and there's always something that I'm really drawn to. And about every fucking song, I'm just like, holy shit, like, how do they do that? Because, like, I say, yeah, I can play guitar. Fuck no, I can't. Put me next to you, and I'm like I feel like, how did my fingers go on this thing again? Like, what the fuck's going on?
Well, I mean, that's the ringing endorsement. Obviously, everybody who watches this should go out and purchase the Ossuary Lens.
Yes, yeah, you should pre-order the Ossuary Lens. Obviously, the album. I I can't wait for it to come out. I think it's a fucking fantastic album, and funny enough, the lead off single Driftwood
Yeah.
is my least favorite song on the album.
But I'm not far
And
off from that either. But the big question everybody was asking is Ezra going to do cleans? So straight out of the gate, you answer the question, right?
yeah,
So it's the big thing. But and then it's I what I really like is like I think that on this album there's something that sounds like something from the whole career. Like if you really like the old school stuff, I think there's stuff that sounds that it could
100%.
be
Yeah.
off of Form Shifter. There's stuff that sounds like it could be off of Elements, right?
Yeah.
I
Like
think right out of the bat we have kind of like a proponent era stuff, and then
I
there's the damn stuff. So
I
I
have
felt
to
like
agree.
it kind of really set like an overarching career record where I think anybody that is like the band at any moment in time can find something on the album that they're going to be drawn to. So,
I think anyone who's liked the band at any point is really going to enjoy what you guys have put together here. Um, it is it's solid from start to finish.
oh yeah,
And Scythe is probably my favorite. I love how the album ends with that. I could probably listen to that like 10 times in a row and not even like get bored with it at all.
that's sick.
It's a
I've never played a single note. I didn't have a solo on that song. That was all Mike. So I've never played a single note on that song.
fuck yeah, Mike.
Of course, I've listened to it, and it was. I remember when we were recording it, like the solo rhythm sounds like something off of like Bonded by Blood,
Yes.
and I was like, dude, maybe we should just like thrash. Maybe we don't put a solo there. Maybe we just like totally like thrash it Exodus style up, and then a Legion will be a Legion, and we put a solo over
A
it.
legion will always be a legion. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's fucking great. I love that you guys are still putting out solid fucking albums. Um, I of course want to come and see you live on the Warbringer tour, so I think I'm probably going to have to go to Detroit or Chicago or something like that.
Are those the closest that were coming to Louisville?
Yeah,
Oh man. See, I don't even it's been
I
so
know.
busy. I haven't really looked at the routing. I know there's some I mean, wouldn't I thought Philly or Bethlehem might be a little
So
closer.
now Philly's 7 or 8 hours away, I think.
Yeah? Okay, well, there's my geography. I moved to Canada. I forgot all my
Yeah,
US geography.
he's like, I'm Canadian now.
I,
Bah.
I carry a US passport, but I'm deep ingrained.
Yeah. Yeah, I think unless you guys are hitting Nashville, and I don't think you're hitting Nashville this
No.
run. So it'll
We've
be,
never had a bad show in Nashville. It's just
I
I don't know
know.
why the shows just don't never tours just don't go through Nashville for some reason.
It's I think Nashville's a real like hit or miss like city. When we went to see Nile and 6 Feet Under and Psychroptic,
Yeah,
it was a great show and a great crowd, but I expected there to be a lot more people there for it.
interesting.
Um,
How
and
was
not
Psychroptic?
oh, they're fucking jammed, dude.
I
Jesus.
I love that band so much, so I always have to
Yeah.
ask.
Well, of course, the Haley brothers, like they're in themselves is fucking awesome. But I saw him twice on that run, and they brought Dave wasn't there for the second show. He was at home doing something, so they had Gabe Sieber, from Decrepit Birth,
Right.
and Gabe fucking crushed it too.
I love Gabe. He crushes everything he does.
Yeah.
I, you know, I wonder if he's going to be doing Old Man's Child. Because didn't Galder say, like, if I ever get Old Man's Child back, he was going to get Gabe Sieber, and I'm curious because now that he's left Demu, he's bringing Old Man's Child back. Is Gabe going to get that gig?
I
Because that
wonder,
would be
like,
sick.
that would be dope. I actually just saw something. Who the fuck was it? Oh, it was Ash Pearson was hanging
Oh
out
yeah,
with fucking Galder, and I'm like, oh, like, all right, I'm gonna have to text Ash and be like, hey, dude, what's the fucking scoop with, like, what's going on?
I don't know if Ash has covered enough Old Man's Child.
Yeah, I don't know. But whatever. He was there. He was probably there for the show to see Revo, um,
Yeah, yeah,
who's getting ready to come and do another fucking US tour. So yeah,
yeah.
I I feel like, all these fucking bands I fell in love with and around like 2011 to like 2014 are stronger than fucking ever. Like you
Yeah.
guys are right now, just a solid fucking force. And I'm super super stoked to see the public reception to the Ossuary Lens.
Oh, thanks so much, man. Yeah, we're I mean, I know we're really excited about the album, so I hope that translates to the general public. So,
I'm sure it will. I'm
yeah.
sure it will. Okay, I know you've got another interview
Yeah, I'm back to
knocking
back.
at your fucking door. I know Liz is like, hey, be careful. I'm like, all right, I got you. So, Greg, thanks for coming and hanging out and chatting with me about the new album.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Good to
Hell
see you.
yeah. You too, brother. Have a great day.
All right, man. Bye, friend.